Hello, hello. My name is Brittany.
And I'm Kate.
And we are
The Fools.
Join us as we explore everything spiritual, astrological, and overall mystical.
Don't forget to follow your intuition, but more importantly, follow us at The Fools.
Hi, friends. Welcome back to another episode of the Fools podcast.
Reporting back virtually.
So 2 weeks ago, I had COVID, so we had to do a Zoom episode. And what would you know? It's now Kate's turn.
I had to have my turn to get the antibodies. You can't be selfish and hog them all to yourself.
If there was any time to get it, now is the time. I feel like this new strain seems to be less mean than the other ones. It seems like a milder case of COVID. And I feel like everyone is getting it right now. This December, January time is insane. So
Yeah, it's definitely popping off for the winter. I'm just thinking my lucky stars they didn't get flu rona. So,
yeah, totally. So hopefully this Zoom episode sounds good. But if you're just wondering why we're not together, this is why. And we will resume normal type of episodes next week.
After my quarantine ends.
Yes, we're being safe, but let's just delve right into the episode. I'm really excited about this one. Today, we're going to be talking about all things candles and candle magic, which I feel like people love candles, even if they don't like witchcraft.
Bitches love candles.
Bitches love candles. You know what else I recently got is wax melters, like the hot plates.
Oh, hell yeah.
Just because I feel safer with my cat.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say I love a flame. I'm a pyro, so
Yeah.
those seem good for scenting a room, but I love a good warm, cozy fire.
Yeah, I love a good vibe. I just have to be like in the room at all times, or no maxes.
That little shifty cat.
Yeah, you can't trust a little feline sphinx. So, but anyway, back to candles. Candle magic, I feel like, is one of the most well-known forms of magic. I feel like I don't want to say the easiest, but it's successful. I feel like it's very not what is the word I'm looking for? Viable for a huge range of people to do. Like candles are so accessible to people. You can buy I got this pack of tea lights from the dollar store. It doesn't have to be this crazy big thing. You can have a little candle magic in your life really easily.
And that is so much to say that all that magic is coming from your intention that you're putting into that candle and that energy and, picking out the different types of candles. So, I mean, let's start with picking your candle. Which one are you even going to pick?
Yeah. So I think when you want to do a candle ritual or candle magic, it's basically about amplifying your spell or your wish or your goal in the physical form, right? So you can pick your candle like shape, color, and these types of things based on what you want the intention of your spell to be. So tea lights are great because you can buy them in bulk in different colors. Me and Kate both love these little cylinder guys because a lot of people believe that when you do candle magic, you should let the candle burn out all the way. So if you're using one of these like giant pillar candles, you
They
gotta
go
let
for
it
days.
burn for days.
Yeah.
And like I
And then
said,
those little guys will burn in 5 hours or
exactly.
something.
So you can like trust that it'll be safe. For me, I can't leave the house with my candle going. My anxiety is through the roof. Yeah, through the roof. Can't do that. So just know the shape and stuff should work with your spell and like how long you can be around your candle just for safety. And then should we go? There's just so many things we could talk about, but I guess we could start with colors because if you want to pick out your candle, the color is really important for what you want to use your spell for.
Yeah, I love colors in general. I know a lot of people who are artists identify a lot more with feelings in colors. I mean, one of my favorite artists is Mark Rothko, and that man just puts ombre colors on a fucking canvas. So just speaks to you sometimes. So I think using your intuition to know what you're going to bring in also is helpful, but also understanding what the colors can mean, which I mean, obviously we could start with white and black. Those are two really basic colors you'll probably use.
White is like purification, peace, new beginnings, healing. What's actually great about white candles is it can be used for any and all spells. So if you don't know what color to go for, or you just don't have the time to go out, most of us have a white candle, you know.
Very neutral base to start with for
Yeah.
whatever intention you're like putting into it from there.
Yes. And then black on the opposite end of that is like the end of a phase, breaking a habit. And a lot of times it absorbs negative energy. So if you're trying to like get some hardcore healing done, I think a black candle is great. It's actually interesting
And
when I was,
protection.
yeah, and protection. So it's, if you know anything about crystals, a lot of the similar colors of crystals work the same way with candles. And it's just kind of our universal way we look at colors. So a lot of the time when you're researching candle magic color, it's like pretty obvious almost. And
Pretty much what you think like a red candle is love, lust, passion,
passion,
what you would think red would represent. Whereas
strength,
maybe,
power,
yes, a variation of that might be pink, where it would be like intimacy, like love. It's a little softer version of that same
self-love,
vibration. Yeah.
friendship, that type of stuff. If you want like green candles are great for growth, money, prosperity, luck. You think
Luck.
of, plants growing, getting bigger. Green is the color of money. It's, all the clues are out there in the world for you to figure these things out.
And that's why it's pretty like easy to use your intuition and feel into what colors are feeling good for you. I know for me, like I don't go by spells a lot. I think, verbal like incantation of like what you want is important, but a lot of times I will base that on the candle I'm choosing. Like I'll pick a yellow candle, and like while I'm lighting this, I'm going to say like something like this yellow candle is going to bring joy, love, like brightness, positivity, growth towards the future, into my life, and I'll light that candle with that verbal, but I don't necessarily have a spell I'm following from a fucking spell book.
Yeah. And that's totally fine. Like, I think the whole thing, what I'm learning about witchcraft and magic in general is it's all in your mind. It's all your intentions and the vibration you're putting out into the world. So you can write, if you're like a really good writer and you can do a rhyme scheme and make a cool spell that's about manifesting money or something like that, that's amazing. But don't feel like you can't do candle magic or any type of magic if you're not a writer or something. Sure, you can look up somebody's spells and use them as well, but you really have to make sure it resonates with you. If you're just
And
reading
it's
something for reading,
so, yeah, it's so much more powerful when it comes from yourself and just like, it just has your flair on it. You know what I mean?
totally. So if you want to look up more about the colors of candles, you can definitely find resources all over the internet, but really you kind of will already know what they're used for. One of my favorite ones I found was yellow is really great during like Mercury retrogrades because it's a communication color. And
Mm,
communication is a little flighty
be
during those.
tripping.
Yeah, exactly. And then another candle I found I really like for myself is orange because it is encouragement and creativity, which is like what I'm trying to do with my life. And so you can kind of find those candles that resonate with you too. Whenever you're trying to work on your psychic abilities, maybe you're just now getting into witchcraft. Purple is a great color. You see it all the time when it
Oh
comes
yeah,
to
purple was in
figuring
my
out.
new moon scheme. I fucking anointed that shit with some mugwort. I was like, bitch, it's gonna get lit as fuck in my spiritual third eye.
Exactly. So these things you can look up, but it's also just use your intuition. Also, when you know you're going to do any sort of magic, you want to make sure you are cleansing your space and your tools. It's really important that if you're bringing energy into your space, you want to have it from a clean starting point. So just like you cleanse your crystals or yourself, you can cleanse your candles with sage and incense smoke, salt. You can also leave it under the moon, just like you do with your crystals, which I thought was cool, or rubbing it with holy water,
And Florida water. I don't
Florida
know if
water.
you are, well, both,
Both,
whatever
yeah.
works really. I wonder if moon water is cleansing.
Oh, I'm
Probably.
sure. If you can leave your candle under the moon, I don't know why moon water would be any less effective. So, and you want to think about cleansing your space, letting go of anything, leave it at the door kind of when you're doing any magic and spell work, because it's about focusing your energy on whatever you're trying to bring into your life.
And I will say, another common tool I learned from my sage witch friend Raven is that like right before you're going into like any candle lighting ceremony situation on your altar, have a moment to be with yourself. A lot of witches will say like cast a circle, which is just like a circle of light that's enclosing you, like protecting you. I always imagine it like around my house and like all the way to the outside, like protecting me and everyone in this home. Like I cast that circle within myself to kind of feel protected.
Mhm.
And in that same vein, like if you put a ring of salt around your crystal little spell or candle spell situation, that also aids in like
Protection.
protection.
Yeah. Also, if you're someone who is really good visually, you can like visualize this protection like a bubble around you. For me, I struggle with visualization sometimes. So I'll meditate and I'll say out loud, which this is something Raven actually taught me, the Midtown Mystic, which was to say, call upon your spirit guides and say, like, higher self to the north, spirit guides to the east, ancestors to the south, and archangels to the west. Please aid me and protect me in the spell work that I'm going to be partaking in. I trust you to guide me. Whatever you feel called to say to them, but like let them know, that you want them in your safe space and
You're looking for that support, that protection, that kind of just like
the
hand
aid.
on your back. They're just
Exactly.
there. They're there.
Which is super important. So before you even get into anything, those are really important steps. Now, there's different things you can do to amplify your candle magic. I mean, you can just light the candle, set the intention, and you are good to go, baby. It is totally fine. But if you want a little extra oomph,
Oh,
yes, you can do different things like anointing and dressing your candle. So anointing basically means rubbing your candle down with oil. I don't know how else to describe it. It sounds sexual. It kind of looks sexual, I'm going to be honest, but there's nothing wrong with that.
yeah. And you know what? Honestly, lean in if you're anointing a red candle. Just like get sexual with it.
You know what you're writing that red candle for. Okay, we know.
We know what you're lighting it for. I will say that protection oil is something Raven told me to anoint with. And she said you can just like whisper protection into your olive oil. Cause I was
Mhm.
like, I don't have protection oil. The fuck is that? She was like, just, put the intention into whatever oil you have.
Yes, you can either take olive oil, anything you have in your cabinet, grapeseed oil, and rub your hands, do a little spell work with that. Whatever intention you put into that oil is what you're bringing to it. Or if you have essential oils on hand, probably like natural ones, maybe not like, I don't know, chemically engineered ones, but like different oils are going to bring different things, just like different herbs are going to bring different things into your magic circle. So I don't
Yeah, and
know.
that's getting real fancy is like adding those herbal like rubs to the candle. Those ones
Mhm.
look gorgeous, they smell gorgeous, they're fun to watch burn.
Yep.
So I would say like it's really fun to experiment with that kind of thing. And you can experiment with different herbs, for instance, lavender, healing, calming, relaxing,
Mhm.
cinnamon, action, clarity, guidance, focus, basil, prosperity, abundance, manifesting. So just doing a little bit of research, just like you would find your colors, finding the herbs that you want to complement your candle and your spell.
And you can either, if you have a bigger candle, like when I have my tea light candles with a base, I like to sprinkle my herbs right on top. Or if you have like a tall, skinny candle, sometimes I will sprinkle my herbs in the salt circle I created of protection. So, there's no wrong way to do it. Whatever you feel called to do, follow that. Also, I have heard from Raven that the way you anoint your candle, like the direction you rub in, is super important. So, if you want to bring something new into your life, if you're calling something, rub the oil from the top to the middle and from the bottom to the middle. So, you're bringing the oil inward to the candle. If you're trying to let go of something, release something, you want to do the opposite, rub from the middle out. So, you're literally, you know, taking a physical action with your hands and copying what you want to do with the energy surrounding you.
Mm. And that's funny. I think she told me the same thing, and I interpreted it very differently. I just was like, if you're bringing it in, rub towards yourself. If you're getting rid of it,
Rub it out.
throw it away. Yeah.
Yeah, I think either of those kind of work. It's the same kind of action, bringing in, releasing, or you use the middle of the candle. Either way, there is no wrong way.
Yeah, it's
Something
whatever works for you, you know?
something else that you can do to amplify your candle magic is carving into your candle. But I remember you used to like take the glass candles like this and draw and write on them too, right?
Yeah, I love that way. I did that a lot for my full moon ceremonies. And honestly, I got some pretty sick ass candles that I held and like looked back on, which was really cool. So I will say I would take Sharpie and like go ham on those glass candles. I would do symbols, photo, like pictures, just words out the ass. I will say carving into an actual candle, you can't carve as many words as you can write on those glass candles. So
Mhm.
they would be a lot more specific and like intentioned when you're carving it into the candle. So
Yeah.
it's just a little bit of a different experience. And in the same, like if you have that long glass candle, if you want to add that some herbs to that, I would put like on a plate and do your salt circle, add those herbs around it. Any like offerings or something, like I put fucking orange slices one time, whatever you're vibing with, like put it out in your little candle circle.
And you can always pay attention to the season that we're in, like we talked about in our moon podcast. Like, if you know it's spring is around the corner, maybe pick some flowers you find around your house and like add those in, those offerings from the earth, what's around you. You know, if you know it's a winter, we all love cinnamon in the winter. It kind of just like matches the vibe. So, again, like use that intention and what is around you. And that's just going to aid your spell work. And I do love, um, being able to like draw and write all over a glass cylinder. But when you carve into a candle and you watch that carving melt away, there is something very empowering about that. So again, it doesn't have to be like a full mantra. It could be, but if you want to manifest money, draw a money symbol. Boom.
Very simple. And if you like want to shorthand whatever phrases, that you can make a sigil, which is essentially shorthanding like a wish or like a declaration you're making. And it's just like it's a lot to explain. So just Google how to make a sigil and it will tell you like take this letter, and then like just creating your own symbol essentially for the declaration you're making and what you're kind of trying to manifest and bring in with that candle.
Mhm.
So it's a little bit easier. You're not writing, I hope to be like blah, 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 carving on a candle. You're like IHB in my own like special symbolic way.
Yeah,
So it
totally.
gets to the point a little quicker. It's less invasive carving.
And something else that I love to do when it comes to bringing my manifestations or my spell work and making it feel physical is burning things. You need to be careful when you burn anything. Make sure you have water, a bowl of water, or do it in your sink or something that you know you can stay safe. But if you have a really small candle, like a tea light, and you did want to write a mantra out or something specific, or maybe let go of specific harbored feelings you have around a person, place, or thing, or whatever, write it down. Take some tweezers or some fire safe pinchers of some sort, hold your piece of paper and let it burn over your spell work candle. That's also a great way to release and let go or bring in some magic.
And in that same vein, like gazing at the flame itself, like has different meanings. So I can go through a few. If you are interested in where I'm getting my information, it's called Mama Moon's Book of Magic,
I don't know.
and it's by Semra Hacksever. I'm probably butchering your last name. I'm so sorry. But candle magic is very interesting. I'll just go through a couple of the flames if you're seeing it burn this way.
I think it's super
Um,
interesting too, because you already want to, you don't want to like do all this pre-work spell work, light your candle, and then like leave. Like you definitely want to meditate with your candle. And a form of meditation doesn't always have to be focusing on the breath. It could be focusing onto something. So picking the flame is, I think, one of the most interesting things to do.
Yeah. So, for instance, it burns bright, clean, with an even melt. This is a good sign. It represents that everything is happening according to plan and your spell will work easily, but it might not happen as fast as you like. And then, for instance, if it's burning with an asymmetrical melt, this is a sign you need to balance some aspects of your life before the spell can work. So, it giving you information about like actions you also can take. You know, if
Yeah.
it's not burning clearly, perhaps there's a little off balance, or it burns out before the spell is finished. Take it as a sign that it shouldn't be doing this spell, and whoever is watching over you is taking control. So maybe like that's not for you right now, honey. Like we're gonna
Let it
burn
go.
that shit out. You
It's
asked your ancestors to come help you for a reason, okay?
Yeah. And it's really interesting. Like if you have a big, strong flame, that spell is strong. If it's tiny and like struggling, maybe
There's
the
gonna be
magic's not
some
there.
resistance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
There's gonna
also
be some obstacles perhaps in the way before you get that.
I also was wondering if in the book she ever talks about when your candle like pops or sizzles or kind of speaks to you. Cause that for me and Kate is like the fucking
Okay, so it
sugar
says
on
burn
top.
with a crackling or a
Mhm.
popping sound. The spirits are trying to send you a sign and communicate with you.
Love it. Whenever that happens, I like pee a little because I get so excited.
And okay, so we can also talk about the myth of blowing out your candle.
Yes. So when you can with spell work, I think watch a candle burn out. That is super lucky. But again, some of us have animals, or you have kids, or you have anxiety. So there are different ways you can blow out a candle or extinguish a flame. And you will hear time and time again that you should never blow out your candle in witchcraft. That's like one of those myths that come around. And I just think it's bullshit, personally.
I agree. And I think it's just like whatever you resonate with. Like maybe you really feel strongly in this myth. You can clap over the candle. If you have a glass candle, if you just put your hand over the top or put anything over the top to suffocate the flame, it's
Mhm.
going to go out.
You lick your fingers and you pinch the flame, or you can buy a snuffer, which kind of looks like a little bell that you just cut off the oxygen. So
Yeah. So, I mean, there's tons of ways, but like this author says, she likes to blow out her candles. She feels like she's making a wish on her birthday cake. And then she watches that smoke dissipate into the universe. No, it's carrying her intention. So, it's
I think,
really to each their own.
yeah, I think for me personally, like if I'm trying to let go of something and trust the universe has got my back, I kind of like blowing it out. But if I'm trying to bring something in and hold it in, I either like to use my snuffer to like enclose the flame or use a lid of something and encapsulate that flame. It's kind of a visual representation of what I want the spell to do. So I think when
That's
you can,
beautiful.
I
That's
feel like,
like your own little practice.
yeah, I feel like there's something else. It's kind of like the other myth that we talked about where there's this saying that you shouldn't buy your own tarot deck. If anything that they say you shouldn't do feels icky inside, it's probably not aligning with you. Trust your gut.
Yeah, trust your intuition. If you're like, this seems silly, like it
Yeah.
probably is.
Yeah. It probably is. Like whatever feels right is usually right. I mean, we don't trust ourselves enough in this freaking world. That's for sure. Oh, I also feel like I forgot to mention we talked about doing like a salt circle around your candle, but you can also take your crystals. That's something else I like to do. Like you said, you did like orange slices. I've done like rose petals, and then I take crystals and like make a little circle around your candle. It's like you're making a little altar or something for your candle and your magic.
I mean, I kind of always make a little altar. I'll say, like, I will do like maybe a little reading for myself. I'll ask my guides, like, what energy can I bring in to help this come to light? And like pull a little like oracle card for that's going to go with whatever candles I'm lighting. And then I'll keep that out while it burns because it's part of that altar. I'll pick the stones that I think resonate with that particular instance and have those crystals out while my candle's burning. I mean, it's just like all about that intention and bringing those energies together. I think just amplifies it.
You're totally right. I think bringing this all together, candle magic is so much about intention and just making a sacred space for yourself and whatever you want to bring into the world.
I mean, bitches love candles. We be buying out TJ
Mhm.
Maxx's. I mean, I love a good wood wick, baby.
Yes, same. I love Woodwick. Do your research. I think that they say that some candles can be harmful for you, but I don't really know much about that. I know soy candles are usually relatively safe, I think.
I think beeswax candles I've had pretty good luck with as far as like if they're taper candles, not being so much drippage that you have to like clean up afterwards. So I will say like, I mean, that's a helpful little tip to know because you're always going to have to clean off your candle holders, got some
Mhm.
wax happening. So
And don't you can also use like if you buy a candle from, whatever, Target or whatever, and it's inside of a jar or whatever, it's okay to use those candles too. Like these candles are just, these cylinder candles that you can buy or tea candles are fun because you can do the carving and stuff, but you can still use any candle for this kind of magic.
yeah, I think before I really got into it, I would just buy whatever candle and be like, you know what, I'm gonna light this when I want to feel a certain way. And in that sense, it's like already a little bit of magic happening.
Exactly. I love that. Well, I think we nailed everything we talked about, you
Was
know,
that shit lit?
I think so. It was pretty lit for me. I hope it was lit for you guys. Let us know on the comments on YouTube or email us at Contact Fools Podcast if you have any questions. Or I have actually some candle magic PDFs I can send out. Maybe if we get enough listeners, we can have like an email list. Isn't there a fancy
Oh, that would be fun. Yeah, subscription email.
subscription email? And I have like a bunch of resources for witchy stuff. Yeah, we hope you guys enjoyed this. I have a new oracle deck that somebody gifted me for Christmas. If you wanted to pull that instead of doing a tarot, what do you think?
Oh, yeah, I'm
Yes.
down with that.
You have a
Let's
tarot
do
deck
that.
near you.
I've got the new one, but should we bring out both news?
Both new ones. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay, so mine is called the Pleasure Oracle.
Oh,
Yeah, my friend Beth gave this to me for Christmas. So this is again an oracle deck, and this one is more prompts about like things you can do with yourself, not just pleasure, even, but also pleasure to kind of like take it's like a very self-love, self-care deck. I love the artwork is very like
ooh, I do really like
modern.
that.
Yeah.
It's like a minimalist, colorful outline.
Yeah. I feel like it matches your aesthetic actually. Like this is kind of
I
like
do. I
the
really
look of
like
your
that.
house.
Totally, I would hang art up like that.
So what deck did you get?
Okay, so this one I got for Christmas from Uis. It's called the Moonchild Tarot, and it's written and illustrated by Danielle Noel. And these ones are very beautiful. They are gold foil.
Oh, I love a colored foil. It's my weakness.
And then this is the art on the back. And then it's just like really beautiful interpretations that are kind of like collage-esque.
Those are very goddess vibes.
Yeah, so very beautiful. Moonchild, I mean, I definitely identified. She actually added a couple cards to this too in the major arcana, so it's kind of fun. There's like more than the standard tarot deck.
Ooh, I love that. That's such a beautiful deck.
Yeah, so I've been a fan of her art for a really long time. She has another tarot deck called like this. Uh, I don't know. I got a jumper, so let's just read this.
Ooh.
King of Swords. Bum, ba-da-dum.
Ooh.
Okay, so swords are emotions, they're feelings. This king is top dog, so hopefully he's mastering them. Intelligent, decisive, sensible, logical, scientific breakthroughs, engineering. So maybe this is like resonating on a place that just like makes logical sense, lighting these candles to you guys. It's an air element, logic. So air goes with smoke of candles and things like this.
Mhm. The candle colors, I think yellow represents air. If you're trying to bring like elemental stuff into your candle magic, I feel like like obviously water is blue, earth is green, red is fire, but I love that air is yellow. It's cute.
Oh, I do like that too.
Yes. Okay. So I had a jumper too, and it's liberate yourself. That is the card we
Ooh,
got. So it says, loosen up, kiddo. Life's not that serious. And even when it is, levity is the quickest path to resilience and dignity. Pure, unadulterated joy is what distinguishes merely surviving from truly thriving. So great. It says, action. Allow yourself to play. Exalt the sweetness of shared laughter, of a look, spontaneity, of awkwardness, and make believe a suspended reality. I like that. Liberate yourself. I think that if you're new to
play.
all of this witchy stuff, have fun with it. Don't take yourself too seriously. I think a trap I fall into a lot is making sure I'm doing something right, which there's no such thing as that. Follow your intuition and your gut when it comes to this candle magic and all magic in your life.
I always like just tell myself like if I think it's how it should be done, it's right.
I
Like
love
in magic and things. Like if this is how I think it needs to work, like this is what it just works with me. So that's just what it is.
that. Why would you fight that? I love that. That's beautiful. Well, I love you, Kate. I miss seeing you in person
I love you. I'll see you in person hopefully soon.
next week or so. Everyone stay safe. We love you guys, and we'll see you next time.
Stay safe and sanitize. Love you.